Professor and HOD of Dravya and Dean and of IPGT and RA, Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar. Sir guided 41 PhD, 36 MD, 15 M Pharma, and 3 MSc Medicinal Plant scholars. Sir has completed 4 research projects and continuing 5 projects, one each funded by NMPB, Ayush, DST, DBT, and IPGT and RA. Sir has in his credit 3 books on poisonous drugs and as an expert contributor for 4 books on terminology, and Sir contributed 1 theory and 1 practical course material for certificate program in Ayush Nursing for ANM in Dravya. Contributed 2 chapters in Dravya Shastra in e-learning programs and contributed a topic Chiraita powder on fever in a WHO sponsored monograph on management of certain diseases through Ayurveda published by WHO Office India. And Sir has also published 280 research articles and presented more than 135 research papers at different national and international seminars. Sir has been honored with the Best Teacher Award for Drug Research Training in the field of Ayurveda, awarded by CCRAS, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, New Delhi. And Ayush Award of CCRAS 2017 Best Research Paper Literary Research category awarded by CCRAS, New Delhi. So many research scholars under the supervision of Dr. R.N. Acharya sir also got many awards. Sir is also having a vast administrative experience. To name few, Sir is a chairman, Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia Committee, Dean IPGT and RA Jamnagar, member Scientific Advisory Group, Drug Development CCRAS, coordinator in Indian Pharmacovigilance Committee, National Pharmacovigilance Program for ASU and H drugs, member Ayurveda Siddha Unani Drug Advisory Board, Ministry of Ayush, and many more. Sir is a life member of 5 different professional scientific societies like International Society of Ayurveda, Odisha Botanical Society, Pharmacovigilance Society of Pharmacovigilance India, Indian Association for the Study of Traditional Asian Medicine. Sir attended a training program on pharmacovigilance at WHO held headquarters Geneva. Sir delivered a keynote lecture during first international conference on Unani, Ayurveda, Siddha and traditional medicine at Institution of Indigenous Medicinal University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Sir attended as a Government of India representative in BIM STEC conference on protection of traditional knowledge and genetic resources, Bangkok, Thailand. Sir attended as a Government of India representative at WHO consultation meeting on herb drug interaction, Beijing, China. So we are honored to have you with us, sir. So just before we start the session, there are few instructions for the participant. So please display your full name, mute your audio while joining the session. Queries can be posted in a chat box. We will discuss at the end of the series session. And if you want to ask the question directly, then you can raise your hand and we will unmute you and allow you to ask the question. In case of any disruption, please check your network connectivity and wait patiently until the resume of the network. So now I request Dr. R.N. Acharya sir to take forward this webinar and give his insight on the topic fostering concept of Kala, the relevance of time factor in augmenting crude drug quality. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Of course, it's so long introduction and your kind words. The students, at the outset, I thank the organizer, the management, and the principal in particular, Professor Keshav Das, which happened to my senior in undergraduate college when I was a student at Gopavand Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Puri. I thank the coordinator of the program for all the pain she has taken to coordinate the program. So without taking much time, let us discuss today's topic, which is allotted to me. That is the fostering the concept of color, the relevance of time factor in augmenting crude drug quality. Students, we do know Ayurvedic drugs, whatever we are prescribing, whatever is recommended, can be categorized into three parts, generally based upon their origin. The source materials are of herbal origin, animal origin, and mineral origin, metallic origin also. And among this, if we categorize the Ayurvedic formulary of India, where 444 formulations has been standard has been given. If you categorize them, then you will find that maximum drugs are of plant origin. Near about 75 to 80% drugs are of plant origin, and followed by minerals and animals. The same proportionate are there. So this shows that all the drugs are, but all the drugs of herbal origin have a greater importance in Ayurvedic system of medicines. And for these drugs, it may be a drug of herbal origin, a drug of mineral origin, or drug of animal origin. And particularly when they are used in the herbal origin, we call the natural sources, we call it as a crude drug. And these crude drugs, to use these crude drugs, we need three things. There are three things. If these drugs based for the efficacy, we need three drugs, that is genuineness, 3 points, that is genuineness, quality, and purity. Genuine in the sense the plant must be genuine one, and the botanical it must be authenticated, and the quality means it must be of higher quality, not any infection, and purity is also there. Purity must be there. So these three things affect the crude drugs generally. And for particularly in Indian scenario, the drugs of herbal origin, as we know, maximum are of herbal origin we are using, and there are so many characters, so many things, so many guidelines has been described in our classical text of Ayurveda. That according to Charaka, 4 factors is essential for to know the quality of the drug. That is Pariksha, selection of the land, then selection of the drug, Sangrahaniya Dravya Pariksha, then Sangrahaniya Vidhi, that is a clear guidelines about method of cultivation and also time of collection. So these 3-4 methods of drug collections mentioned in Ayurveda. One is particularly from a good land, good drug, and if it is a Gramya, that is cultivation variety, it should be properly about guidelines are there, and time of collection is also separately highlighted. This color, that is other things which affect a drug, crude drug quality, that is Desha Sampat, that is collection from appropriate habitat. There are so many guidelines given from where to collect, where not to collect, good collection practices are there. Then Kala Sampat. Among these good collection practices, from collect appropriate time, a Kala Sampat, that is Dravya must be collected when it is properly mature or when it contains maximum pharmaceutical properties. Then Guna Sampat, they're collecting them when they are enriched with excellent quality. So Dravya must be Guna Sampat and Bhajana Sampat, good storage practice. Good storage practice, Bhajan Sampat, storing them in appropriate container or appropriate place, appropriate house. So everything, because if any drug, the quality of a drug will hamper if not collected from the good place, if not collected in a perfect time, if not collected at a maturity stage, and also not stored properly. So all these factors affect a quality of the crude drugs. Not only that, there are so many factors. Our treatment procedures, Chatuspada, the drug, regarding the drug, Chatuspada, the drug should be the four factors which consider during selection of a crude drugs. Then importance of among these factors, collection in perfect time. The second factor which we discussed in the previous slide. So importance of time, that is kala, in drug collections. Ayurveda advises to collect medicinal plants when they are yukta rasa, varna, and virya. That is, the drug must be in a concentration. The properties must be in a perfect active principles, must be in a perfect place, perfect conditions, and sthitam kalam, a favorable period when the plant gets mature. Because phenological growth, a plant needs some plants are annual. In Ayurveda, we use drugs of plant origin, no doubt. But if you categorize these plants, some are annual, some are biannual, and some are perennial. And some plants matures and dies in a season, that is, they are known as annual. Some plants grows a year, they are more than one season, they are biennial. And some plant grows for years together, they are perennial. So tree species generally and some shrubs, all these things comes under these perennial groups. So Ayurveda advice to collect Yuktarasa Sthitam Kalam, that must be considered. This can also be elaborated in two perspectives, namely quality in the peak concentrations and particularly the chemical questions, Sampurna Guna Nispana, and Balavat Tarani. That is, it must be effective one. Then only the crude drugs is good. The abnormalities in the season produced by abnormal conditions of stars, planets, moons, sun. So there are so many factors. If you because factors affecting to Ausadi. If you go to the history of Ayurveda, you will see that astrology was a part of Ayurveda. When the pre-independence era or before that, the Ayurveda was being also taught with Sanskrit schools, where astrology, Ayurvedacharya, Jyotishacharya, they used to mix and they are taught at the same time. So from that point of time, also this astrological aspect were considered in quality maintaining of the drugs. So this effect of the star, planets, moon, and sun, Surya, Chandra, this sabka effect, it is already described in the classical text. Unaffected drugs collected properly in Abhyapanna Rutu. So in that conditions, a plant must be collected in a proper Rutu to accelerate the prana, ayu, and bala, virya, ojas when they are administered. So perfect collection of the time, collection time matters in the maintaining the quality of a drug. It's the kala responsible for Rasabhyapat and Sampada also. When the students of the second year, I came to know that the maximum target audience of this lecture are of second BM student. So you must have gone through the, when you were we taught in the classes, that is Rasa Vyapat and Sampat. You will know that how the Rasa also converts effect of a time factor on Rasa Parivartana there. Then comes your different dimension of Kala. If you categorize, if you divide time factor into different contexts, you will found from minute to a major things. That is from nakshatra, muhurta, that is within a day factor, before sunrise, after sunrise, some nakshatra and astrology. This factor, well, where some plan, some good works is to be commenced at particularly some nakshatra, some muhurta. It is at the birth of a baby or the planting material has been well documented in the classical text of Ayurveda based on astrological factors. And Ahoratra, that is the time within 24 hours, the 24-hour cycle. This is Ahoratra. Then comes some major, the Paksha, the 15 days factor. 15, so Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha. That is 15 days factor, Paksha. Then comes the Rutu. Some group of months comes a Rutu. Then Ayana. that is the going, Ayana, Dakshinayana, and Uttarayana. So in this way, if we can the different dimensions of kala, we can call it as a different kala, not only a particular time factor which uh, can be described based upon ayana, that is Dakshinayana, Uttarayana, then Rutu, Sadrutu, then Paksha, Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha, then before sunrise, in the night time, daytime, or the midday, all these things are moved and nakshatra. So these are the greater dimensions. So what we will discuss in this presentation, we will discuss regarding one by one, regarding starting from ayana. That is Adana Kala, Uttarayana, Visarga Kala, Dakshinayana. So that is three rutus have been well described. Shishira, Vasanta, Grishma comes under Uttarayana, and Varsha, Sarat, Hemant comes under Dakshinayana. So these are also based on Agni. That Agni predominant Dravya should be collected in Agni Rutu, that is Uttarayana, and Samya in Samya Rutu, Samya Dravya in Samya Rutu, that is Dakshinayana. That is Varsha, Sarat, and Hemanta. There are classical references. And these presentations will highlight you some based on some scientific study. These are the classical references. And because in our classics, they have recommended certain things based on, because to describe them on case-to-case basis, we don't have that much of evidence in our classical text of Ayurveda. So recent development we will discuss one by one afterwards. Then after Ayana, it comes the Rutu. That is Rutu Kala Vishesha, Sabdakalpadma says in that way. So Rutu represents season of drug collection, Shishira Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sarat, Hemanta. These are the 6 Rutus we all know. So Aushadhi attains predominance of specific rasa. As I told you, in Rasa chapter, you will see that predominance of rasa in certain disease, certain season. That is Shishira, Vasanta, Shishira, Piktarasa Ityar, Vasanta Kasarasya, Grishma Katulasa, Varsha, Amla, Sarat Lavana, and Hemanta is Madhura. So these are the predominance of rasa in total. In season-wise predominance. Also in a classical text we have description. And again, in the classical text, this in almost all Dravya texts you are referring for your study. You can see this chapter, see this point, there the part-wise collections according to different school of thoughts. In Ayurveda, we have Bruhatrai, we have Lagutrai, and also many Nighantus. And particularly, we do follow the recommendation of Charaka and Susuta in maximum cases, and also recommend the Nighantus, which are the lexicons and which are the backbone of Dravya for describing their properties and actions in Ayurveda. And in this case, Charak Samhita and Susrut Samhita are the two major texts, and they have their own opinion regarding collection of the drug from different parts. That is Mula, that is your part root should be collected according to Charaka in the season of summer or winter, summer and winter, and according to Susruta, it is in the period between summer and rainy season, that is Prabhutra. But Rajanigantu, winter, that is the winter season. And in case of tender leaves, Pallava, that is rainy season. In case of Charak Samhita recommend, and also Grishma, and after the 2 weeks, that is the Sakha, rainy season is been recommended, and also a spring by Charaka. And this slide, you can see the slide very clearly. Pushpa, as you know, they all are seasonal. So specific respective flowering season, it must be collected. But Rajanigantu says that spring season is the best for collection of the flowers. And as the bark, that is the autumn, that is Sarat Rutu, and it is recommended by both Charaka and Susruta. And in case of latex, particularly, plant part use the latex is to be collected in the Sarat Rutu, but Hemanta in case of Susruta. And if you go to the Sara, hardwood, also the winter, early winter, and also Vasanta, and the fruits, just like the flowers, the fruits are also supposed to be collected in the respective seasons. But Susruta of the opinion that it must be in the Grishma and Vasanta. The Kanda, Sarat, Hemanta, Patra, in case of there we show the young twig leaves, and here the leaves in particular, and it is recommended in the Prasa Rutu in particular, and in the Panchanga. And if you, dear friends, what is the scientific reason behind this? If you consider some research publications, some scientific thoughts behind why to collect kanda in the particular season. So the plants with tubers, generally, you know, in a science, tubers are the storehouse. Tubers are the storehouse particular of a plant. The carbohydrate and particularly the starch, they store and utilize for that purpose, and we use for food and medicine also. The Dioscorea people use for the food, and in some species of Dioscorea used as Baraikanda, we use as a medicine. We used many tubers, Puraria tuberosa, we use the tuber as a medicine. So, but tuber crop is separate, and in agriculture field they have their nutritional value purposes, but in Ayurveda we too used many crops, many of Kanda preparation. So, ideal temperature, that is the dormancy tuber happens by end of summer, develops by rainy season, and across optimum potency. So that is why rainy season, just after rainy season, it is there. And latex also, some changes in the anatomical structure occurs, and that is why before autumn, more latex is collected. That's why it is being told Shishira Rutu and also Hemanta for latex collections. But because in the bark, if it is being observed that they are easily separated during the spring season. So that is a recommendation period for separation, and also there is a few scientific studies has been carried out regarding bark when to collect and what are the chemical changes or phytochemical. Very few scientific studies are available on book. But the Sara also the same. The text in seasonal variations are there, and when the leaf falls, there is a deposition, there is a start of maximum concentration goes to the branches and the stem. So that is there, then I would recommend in that way. And the root, to combat natural moisture evaporation from leaves, summer root attains more ability to push down, to cut down, that is to get water and require nutrients. So there also, this is the cause why root is being considered to be collected in the summer season in particular. And in the Patra and Saka, particularly rainy season has been recommended for the collection of the leaves by two authors, two text there. So that is the project chlorophyll and chlorophyll based upon the chlorophyll content. The leaves are considered to be collected in that season only. Then Sarvakarma, that is the one which is Sharat Rutu, Varsha, Sarat, Hemanta. Just in between Sarat Rutu, in the Sarat Rutu, all the plants in general must be collected, and we will see in future slides somehow this scientific background, all these things. So these seasonal variations, now we'll see some conditions regarding some scientific studies carried out regarding this effect of the season. As you know, the phytoconstituents or the generally the secondary metabolites in the plant. Plant develops secondary metabolites based upon certain seasonal changes, and they grow phenological growth. Plant goes on producing these metabolites. So here, so the type phytoconstituents and the principles vary quantitatively at different seasons of the year, and that has been reported in many plants. That has been reported, but very few research are there which Ayurveda, taking Ayurveda part into consideration, will discuss one by one. This is the plant Achirantha aspera, known as a Pamarga in Ayurveda, and it has been proved. Pharmacological studies say that antibacterial act, the highest activity, antibacterial activity of the Helton extract of root, stem, leaf, seeds in the month of January. So this shows that this study was carried out about Sunil Yadav et al. And that study says that antibacterial, the pharmacological activities also, when compared with different seasonal collection plants from different seasons, it shows that the plant affect in a different way in different season when collected from different season. As we all know, Panchanga of Apamarga is used. So they have used the hexane extract of root, stem, leaf, and seeds of the Apamarga. And particularly Vasa, a very common plant in Ayurveda, maximum amount of Vasishan was found in the month of August in both leaf and roots. So August, just like it's a rainy season, and we know that the time of collection of leaf is rainy season, and this confirms that Vasishan, one of the major chemical constituents of a plant for acting in bronchiolic activity, is maximum in the month of August in both leaves and the roots, whereas deoxyvasicine was found maximum in the month of December to January in the roots. So roots also, summer, summer, and there is a different school thoughts. So this shows that secondary metabolites are also in a different plant part. They differ when studied in different season. Alstronia scholaris, that is Saptapanna. It's a very common plant, tree species in particular, and used for antimalarial activities and other Tiktarasa Pradhan Dravya. So antineoplastic activities has been collected, some experiments has been carried out. So bark, particularly the part is the bark, and in the summer, the plant collected part, the bark collected in the summer has shown highest activities, that is containing alkaloids were highly effective in cell killing. The study reported by Jagitagishi, and that's a study in 2005. Another common, very common plant we used in Ayurveda is our Kalmek, Andrographis panicula. Dear students, the Sharma have published the Journal of Natural Remedies in 2012 that the last week of October was found ideal for obtaining maximum dry harvest and total androgaphites yield in respectively. So it is Ayurveda, it's called, as I told you in the last previous slide, that Sharad Rutu is considered to be the best time for collection of in general. So here a study confirms that androgaphites of the Kalmek, that is Andrographis paniculata, is maximum in the month of October, last week of October or November, which is comes under this Sharad Rutu also. So this thing shows how a scientific way the plant differs in their properties when collected at different point of time. Another which is Dhava, Anojaceus latifolia. That is not a much used plant, but some studies have been carried out reducing sugar, amylopectins, amylase, starch, crude fibers, etc. They were better in amount in summer season, whereas quantity of starch, amylopectin, and crude fibers and amylase were more in winter season. This shows because studies are not people from other school of thought, they have carried out the study and not much used in Ayurveda, but this shows that how the bark character differs in phytoconstituents based on the different season. One other main drug in Ayurveda we use Pachypamoniari, that is Brahmi, Endri in particular, we call in Ayurveda, and high level of total saponins. Saponins are the major constituents responsible for their phytoconstituents responsible for their activities. Pacoside and many other alkaloids are there. But here, that was detected in the rainy season, they are more. Total accounts is more. And as you know, Endri is commonly available in the rainy season only. So that is the point here. Another is Valeria prionitis, Saireka, or otherwise called as Sahachara also. This practicum is also maximum amount of alkaloids and phenols were found in summer season in mature leaves. Oravia diffusa is also one of the plant used for your mutrala activities, one very frequently used drug of Ayurveda, that is Boravia diffusa. Maximum amount of alkaloid and phenols are found in summer season. You see, dear friends, Boravia is a plant of Varsabhu, another variety in rainy season generally, Punarnava. It's found throughout the year, but in the rainy season you will find it more. And this plant, but here study shows that alkaloids and phenols are found in summer season which fully mature leaves. So when in the summer season you will have found very less, and it is being observed that in many plants when they comes at the certain stress conditions, certain when they are not they have to survive there, so they produce maximum other secondary metabolites in that way more. So this is observed that when the summer season very less leaves are there, it is there in the plant in case of Dravya. Another is your Gutta monosperma, that is Polasa. The lipid concentration was observed to be highest in summer leaves. The alkaloid content was highest in also summer season in bark and wood. And Polasa is such a plant, very commonly available plant in India, and particularly one among the few plants just like Madhuka, Polasa. In Ayurveda text, you will found the all parts used are being described for their pharmacological activity. Polasa is one of the most one of the important plant and very commonly available plant, with each plant part has been different names and different properties are attributed to. So this study also confirmed that if you have to collect the Polasa part according to season, whatever recommended in the classical text of Ayurveda. Another is Arka. It has a two variety, as we all know, Calotropis procera and Calotropis gigantea. So in here also, a study shows that in Ayurveda we have some pharmaceutical preparations just like Shara, and many plants are also caught under Chara yoni, that is just producing Chara plants. And Arka is also one of them. The yield of Chara was found to be more in Sarad Rutu. So the moisture content was high in the plants of Grishma Rutu. Its moisture content, the study was carried out in Gujarat, and so this study shows that season also affect the alkali content, that is Chara content. And it was another study, Calotropis procera. It was observed that the plant parts except apical buds or higher protein carbohydrate content in summer. So another study recently in our institute also we have completed a project on collection of latex of Calotropis procera and Calotropis gigantea. And in confirmation to the classical guidelines, the latex is more produced in the Sarat Rutu, and that is we confirm the study that, and when we PCR when we carry out the PCR analysis, we found that when the latex is being collected from different parts of the plant, particularly the apical board or from the petioles or from cutting of the stem, it differs according to the size of the plant. Also, season of the plant seasonal difference was observed, and according to classical reference, we got maximum output of collection of latex in Saratrut. Another plant is in Ayurveda we called Indrabaruni, that is citrus photosynthesis. Maximum amount of alkaloid and phenols are found in summer season in mature leaves. So this plant also in arthritis, this is a drug, it's a purgative plant. In arthritis, it's a drug of choice. Chakrapani says its roots should be taken in arthritis for a also this condition, this plant is also reported for maximum alkaloid phenols in summer season particularly. And one of the most common plant in discussion as in today in case of COVID-19 is curcuma longa. Evaluation of influence of Rutu study was carried out. Study shows that both aqueous and alcoholic extractive of Rhizome hydra in all 6 Rutus differ, are different and not highest in Sarat Rutu. Sarat Rutu again, the Kanda collection or common collection of Rutu is Sarata in Ayurveda. So this Sarat Rutu collection samples, even if the study also confirmed that macroscopic water soluble extractive value, alcohol soluble extractive value through TLC and HPTLC study, Sarat Rutu sample contain comparatively higher active principle than any other. So this also confirms, though it's a seasonal how the rhizomes are collected from the seasonal from the plant, but the Sarat Rutu when the plant is collected during Sarat Rutu, the maximum phytoconstituents are there. So this study also shows that proper way drugs should be collected. Another is Shishu, a common plant. This is not related to Ayurveda, but naturally are becoming Pharmacy family. The spores numbers were reduced to Dalbergia Shishu the month of December and April. So this also result revealed that both root colonization and sporulation declined from September to April. Another good plant we used in Ayurveda is Dhatura. Generally, the Patra Surasa is also used for different rasa Sastra Rasaushadhi preparation, and the seed is used in Kanagasava for preparation of the. But here the study, that is proline content, was observed to be maximum in maturity stage of the leaves in summer. Protein content was maximum in summer. Highest alkaloid content was seen in rainy season. So this shows that in plant different parts, different phytoconstituents are different there. Then another plant, important plant of the Samula is Salapan. Just want to get some dear friends. As we discussed, phenological growth also affects plant quality. When to collect the plant, when it's a herb, when it is a shrub in particular, when to collect the plant. This study shows that the percentage of lupul was very low in young plants, dear friends, and was found to be increased with growth of maximum percentage of lupul was observed in the flowering stage. So many studies have been carried out. When the plants are in the flowering stage, then only you have to harvest. Otherwise, you don't have this maturity and kala sampad. Particularly when the plants are in flowering stage, this study shows that we have to search the literature of each and every plant. In a National Medicinal Plant Board is also working. Many projects are also ongoing there, and some data is already with there in the website. In the last presentation I will show you how NMPP data is there in based upon the phenological growth. So here the plant shows a Salapanni when to be collected. Then Phagonia critica, Dhanvayasha, is a very common plant in this western part of India, Rajasthan and Gujarat. The iron and zinc content was found higher in summer, and it is particularly the summer season plant here in dry region of India, Phagonia critica. And whereas calcium, manganese, sodium, and copper, manganese is also were high in winter season in stem, root, and leaf and part-wise study was there. So there are so many examples. There are so many examples of the plants. I have collected few, particularly EST Madhu. This is also a drug of choice for COVID-19, and in a discussion, the Government of India has highlighted this plant. And not only Government of India, in China also many studies have been carried out, and COVID-19 EST Madhu is there for throat infection and for soothing effect, for cough management there. And it has other effects also, GI tract and many other effects there. But here the glycerin content in 1-year-old roots rapidly increased from October to November, whereas isoliquid atazine glycoside content increased up to October. So different phytoconstituents of the same plant are in a different, they are produced at different seasons in the same plant. So this shows that to get optimum activities, we have to collect the plant in particular season. The Gruatanax is a common plant, a maximum alkaloids and summer seasonal another vegetable we used in the diabetes and that. So the highest anti-diabetic and hypolipidemic activities was observed in fruits in the spring sample. When the plants and the fruits were collected in the spring season, that and now this is a seasonal fruit, but nowadays it has been cultivated throughout the year. Previously, it was not it was a seasonal fruit only, seasonal vegetable. But nowadays it is being cultivated, and you can you can find this plant vegetable in the market throughout the year. So here the study says that highest anti-diabetic hypolipidemic activity was observed in the fruits in the spring sample, followed by summer sample dose dependent manner. So this shows that if the plants which are supposed to be a particular season vegetable should be consumed in that season only, that collected not to be they have not to be cultivated where their natural timing is there. Leptadenia jivanti is a very common plant, and we used for galactogog activities and other activities. Prusya karma is there, and the monsoon sample whole plant powder showed the presence of additional band of RF value. So the rainy season, generally leptadenia is we use the leaf, and for the leaf, Varsha Rutu is recommended. So here the monsoon sample of the whole plant powder showed presence of additional band of RF is specific only to that season. You see the beauty that in rainy season they are more active. Some in few phytoconstituents are there. They are only available in the rainy season. Extract of the plant collected during summer and winter season showed an extra band. So in summer and winter there are extra band because this is a somewhat seasonal, and in summer season the plant leaves are not so infected in many places. And this is also one story. And Madhuka indica, as I told you, just like your Palasa, Madhuka is also a common plant in Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Gujarat, that Madhya Pradesh there. And the lipid and alkaloid contents concentration was reported to be highest in summer in the leaves. In Ayurveda, we don't use the leaves, but in, as I told you, these are the few plants in India which part use the seed, the pulp, the oil, and the bark, the flower. Every part is used economic and medicinal purposes by the tribals. And mentha is a common plant, and it mineral shoots and also higher differs according to in summer season and autumn. And Mimosa elengi, Bakula, the Dantadhyagar, Sreshta, the highest concentration of lipids and alkaloids found in summer because it is evergreen tree. You see, this Mimosa elengi, Bakula is an evergreen tree. You can find the leaves throughout the year. But the highest concentration of lipid and alkaloid found in summer in the leaves, followed by bark and wood. Hermal is an Unani drugs. Ayurveda also, Yadavji recommend this plant. An increase in calcium, magnesium, and sodium, aluminum, ferrous, iron, zinc was observed in the root, stem, leaf, fruit in the winter season. So the Plumbago gelanica, a very common plant used in Ayurveda in the name of Chitraka. We have Plumbago rosea, Plumbago gelanica, but this gelanica, that Sweta Chitraka, roots harvested in the winter months during December to February, yield plumbagen content during summer month, that is June, its yield become very low. In the summer, the yield become low, but when it's collected in December to February, a collection. The same study also highlights that phenological growth. That is when the within 1 year, the plumbagen content is low, up to 1.5 years, the plumbagen content is highest, and up to 2 years also. So the phenological growth when the plant to be cultivated, now it is mass cultivation in Kerala. You'll found Chitra cultivation maximum in Kerala. So there also plumbagen different properties is there. Then Eranda, also a plant that has been reported in Sesbania grandiflora. In case of Eranda, also the mineral contents differ according to season. And observe that leaf, stem, root, and fruit in the summer, whereas high amount of sodium, manganese, zinc were observed in winter. That is there. And Augusta, one of the plants used by this our ancient saints for the flowers as a vegetable, and also drugs for this Sirasula, all the things. Augusta is a drug of choice. And Putalas contents of leaves and leaves of Sesbania grandiflora are higher in summer, whereas bark and fruit are highest in winter. Sesbania grandiflora also is a vegetable and also medicine. Sesbania bipinosa, that is Jayanti, is used in many of the Sodhana procedures of Rasa Shastra, and we report certain difference in phytoconstituents different season. Syzygium comni, that is Jambu, also the phytoconstituents, the lipid and alkaloid concentration was observed to be highest in summer in leaves, this and bark, and in comparison to the bark and wood. So this shows about the difference in phytoconstituents according to season, effect of season. Then Tamarind indicus, this is the plant very commonly available in many places of India. The higher spore numbers was recorded in the month of December and April, whereas percentage of root colonization significantly increased during April. So this shows another plant is your Arjuna. The bark collected in the March contain higher amount of tannins, followed by the bark collected in the November. For the Twak, in the month of March, it is to be collected as told in the classical text. But here also that conforms this seasonal variations, changes, and bark particularly the alkaloid tannin contents. Not here, sorry, tannin contents. Terminalia bellarica, vivitaki. Also, the leaf, we don't use the leaf in the medicine, but a study shows that there is a difference in the proportionate of the cytotoxic pharmacological activities on the leaf. Then guduchi. This is also a drug most in talk now in this in COVID-19 pandemic. That is the phenolic and total sugar concentration obtain highest value in summer season. The total phenolic and sugar concentration obtain highest value in summer season, while starch and tannin content were found maximum in winter season. Many studies has been carried out. As other studies has been carried out regarding because guduchi is a dioecious plant, and we have the male variety and female variety. So the starch content of female is more than the starch content of male. That one study is there. One study is there, and here the study says that in case of summer season and the starch different phytoconstant phenolic is more in summer, starch more in tannin. So this gives us an hints that we all know we have to collect starch known as sattva. Uduchi sattva, one of the major medicines in Ayurveda are well. So when to collect starch? So if you have the target, you're in a pharmacy, you have to collect starch. So when do you collect the test samples? That is, this study may help and it shows that in particular season, if you are going to collect starch, you will have the most economic value. That is more profit if more amount of starch you will collect there. So this type of study gives us some particularly the pharmacy point of view when to have not only for this phytoconstituents but in medicinal value, but for the quantitative also, economic purpose also. This study says many studies are will be helpful. Then Gokshur is another good plant in Ayurveda, and an increase in calcium, magnesium, zinc was observed in the root stem leaf in the summer season, whereas increase in sodium and aluminum in winter. So this study shows that also plant differs according to seasonal variations. Trichothas curcumata, that is patula, also a good vegetable, not only vegetable but pitta samaka dravya. Patula, the highest amount of trichovegetation was produced in the month of February. So this study shows also in that way. We have ashwagandha, we have Nyctanthus arboreus. A study this was carried out in our institute by Sridhar Vaidi, and this study showed that the iron content was found to be highest in leaves of Varsha Rutu, and potassium content was lowest in the peak of flowering. Because we content the leaf is the part used in case of parijata. Leaf is the part used, and the study confirmed that it must be collected in the rainy season, and that for the get a better result. And the chlorophylls and polyphenols were maximum in winter in a vegetative state, in particular ashwagandha. And due to now we are coming to, we have already 11:50. So within 10 minutes, I'll cover up other parts also. And this effect of seasonal variation on volatile content of some, this is a collective data we have collected from some published papers. And maximum, these are because aromatic plants and volatile oil contents, and some maximum are not used in Ayurveda formulary or Ayurveda system in particular. Other species are used, but this side shows that there is the effect of season, and you are optimized when you have to collect more. If you want to collect more volatile oil from the plant, then you have to collect them in a proper season. So harvesting time also gives you an indication that if how to have more phytoconstituent, particularly yield of volatile oil in that case. These are also other examples, particularly your many species are not used in Ayurveda, but all are Valerina jatavansi, one of the species used in Ayurveda, and the volatile oil content is more in Ottoman some. That is that plant. So this shows that if you have planning to collect extract volatile oil, you have to collect in a proper season. These are some other compounds, also non-volatile compounds, as we have discussed previously. The Adatuda Vasika Vasanga in Ayurveda, and the bacillin, bacillinodeoxybacin content is more in rainy season, and particularly Osimum sanctum, the flavonoids are more in rainy season, and the metal, the chlorophyll alkaloid we have already discussed, and particular Philanthus amaranth, another total alkaloid in summer season. Then Alstroemus scalaris we have discussed, and these are the other plants which are not Indian origin, but not used in Ayurveda, but many studies has been carried out for pharmacological activities, better pharmacological activities. When the samples are collected in a particular season, they give better result than the sample collected in some other season. So this shows that harvesting time also affects the plant qualities. And next page of our presentation, my presentation is the effect of Paksha. That is, we season, we now we talked about Ayana, then we talked about season, now we'll talk about Paksha, lunar influence. And particularly in context of Divyosadi, Sususa says that Kartikayang Purnima Asyang Tapaksha Natu Puspiti. So, particularly Kartika or Purnima, it is lunar, particularly Purnima and Amavasya, the concept. So, Divyosadi should be collected in a particular time. And the root of tribute should be collected in Sukta Paksha. In Kalpasthana, it is told in like that way. So, studies has also been carried out. It is a very old study in 1977. Karnik CR has studied that the total constituent was relatively high during moon phase, full moon phase. And during Purnima, the phytoconstituents are more in Bacha, one of the very common plants used in Ayurveda for this Kantha and Smruti and also Medha, particularly this anti-cancer property, particular throat disorders and in speech disorders also, Bacha is a drug of choice. And it shows that it has influence on when collected from full moon time or that is having difference. So another study shows that garlic and cloves, there are maximum percentage of oil during full moon day. This has studied and shows that when rasona, when collected and lavanga when collected in full moon time, they have maximum phytoconstituents. Similarly, Aratura vasica, the basanga, was found to contain maximum quantity of chemical constituents and for developing maximum osmotic pressure in the sap, that is full moon day. So when the plant is collected in the full moon day, the maximum phytoconstituents are there in case of vasana. So this type of study shows that there is influence of lunar cycle in the pit. Then Paksha, another study shows Ashwagandha also. This study was carried out at Jamnagar and reported rise in total flavonoid content in full moon time winter, whereas increase in phenolic content in full moon in the summer. Depending in the Purnima Paksha, if it is collected in the summer season and also Purnima of this other seasons for Purnima, then there is also winter and summer. The plant properties also in that way differs. The carbohydrate was increased in very full moon irrespective of summer and winter. Carbohydrate was increased. So this shows that there is an influence of lunar system in the plant's properties. Then after that lunar, we have also certain examples of diurnal variation, that is Ahoratra. Ahoratra. So this concept, the in Indian physiology, scientists of Indian physiology have previously recorded the effect of circumstances on the plant life. But here, the leaves of the tamarind, that is our chincha, tree by the Greek philosopher Androstephans, that when they close, when they open, they have the diurnal. When the night, some plants used to close their leaves, and in daytime they open. So these are the things that it shows that plants have. They are monitored. Suryamukhi also according to sun movement, they move their plant flowers used to move according to sun movement. So here, Ahoratra concept is also there in Ayurveda, and plant properties are also described, and study shows that plant differ in properties according to if it's collected before sometime, sunrise and after sunrise, they are having in the night time. They are having one study. I couldn't collect the exact data, but I just recollect one of the presentation that even if Nisha is a synonym of Haritra, and some they have, I saw, but I couldn't put it on evidence. The report I couldn't get it. But Nisha is the name indicates that plant to be collected in the night time. Haridra, the synonym of Nisha is the synonym of Haridra, and they collected that presentation says that if the Haridra is collected in the night time, then it is having more properties. But I don't have that much of scientific data with me as on today. I couldn't find it anywhere else, so I am not claiming that, but there is claim, and particularly these are the vegetables, Brassica oleracea, we all know, and the total and individual glycoside concentration of the Portuguese leaf cabbage, we know that were monitored throughout the day. A significant increase in total glucosinolate concentration was noted between 6 a.m. to 10 hours. And just after sunrise, there is a change in the concentration of the plant phytoconstituents. We know Dhanyaka, very common plant, we used in Ayurveda. Assessment of essential oils, coriandrum, green shoots, fruits, and leaves on 4-hourly basis shows that content of essential oil varied according to the hour of the day and night, highest in 12 hours. So when the plant is to be collected as just like volatile oil content of coriander, the plant collected in perfect time has maximum volatile oil content, this study shows. Then Crocus sativus is a well-known plant, kumkum, in Ayurveda, and kesar, kumkum, kesar, we call it in that way. And this study shows that crucin, the major phytoconstituents, is when it's collected before sunrise, the percentage is different, and when it's collected after sunrise, it is a high altitude plant. And this study shows that before sunrise effect, when the different time of day, the plant collection, the properties differ. Nicotina tovacum, your tamrapanna, we used as a dhuma or as a smoking agent. The secotinine, cytokines, and auxin and abscisic acids levels undergo significant variation of levels of tobacco plant during day and night time. This study equals. Posimum graticicum is a variety of tulsi. Also, this study shows that when the eugenol content, essential oil, were observed to drop from 98% at 12 a.m. to 11% at 5 p.m. You see, what is the drastic change in the phytoconstituents? The eugenol contents were observed drop from 98% to 11%. When it is and 12 before sunrise at 12 a.m. it is 98%, and in the evening time, just throughout the day, you see the percentage of eugenol, how it differs. So this shows that there is influence of solar effect on the plant, but to be collected. Papaver somniferum, Ipena, the drugs also says some major alkaloids in the latex, namely they have difference when collected at different point of time at day. Roja, this is a plant available across the globe, and this flower we used in the in Ayurveda, we call it as a taruni. The highest essential content was obtained from the rose flowers which were harvested at 4 a.m. that is before sunrise, and the lowest from the flower harvested at 2 p.m. just post sunrise, post noon. That is so. This shows that the percentage of volatile oil content shown as directly how to say. That's why Ayurveda says how the volatile oil content plants should not be dried in the sun, and all this. This is known fact, and it is being proved scientifically. Now, the last part is your Muhurta and Nakshatra. With Ayana, with Season, with Horatra, Paksha, then we called Horatra, then the Muhurta Nakshatra. Ayurveda, as I told you in the initial lecture, that it is only mainly particularly the astrology part also. In many Ayurvedic texts, astrology is considered, and here the references are there in Charaka and other classical texts that particularly which nakshatra which root particularly Nakshatra has influence. We have Pushyanu, the plant to be prepared in the Pushya Nakshatra. Then Basanta Grishma Tare Pushya. Here also the Madan Kalpat. That Pushya Nakshatra is considered as auspicious that time. And also, these are the common things, effect of time factor for this era. But there are specific indications in case of certain plants in Ayurveda. As I told, Madanaphala part use collection period between Basant and Grishma. There, they have not mentioned that seasonal variation, some season root to be collected this season, fruit to be this, bark to be this, and leaf to be this season. But here they have given a specific conditions. The tribute should be collection period of Shukla Paksha. Ishwago, because that is the beauty of Ayurveda. You see, the maximum utilization, the maximum information. Ayurveda Panchakarma chapter is highly flourished in Ayurveda. So they have a lot of information about this Panchakarma plants used in Panchakarma. Particularly Kalpasthana Adhyaya, you will see the plants, a detailed description of the plant property. You won't find in Sutrasthana regarding the application of the plants, but more application of the plants you will find, particularly good collection practice, good harvesting practice, good storage practice in Kalpasthana. They are, because they are more practically oriented at that chapter in Charak Sampada. So this, you will see the Ishwagu, the Tripru, the Madanaphala, the Snohi, and the Chitraka in particular collection of Ashada, Kartika, Margashira. So this also says that there is Chitraka root to collect and Snohi. So these are the plants in a typical collection methods is there. And we saw the harvesting time and many presentations, many topics I have presented here regarding harvesting time. So this shows that particularly we can, in cultivation, we can grow the plant, but when to harvest, during flowering time, before flowering time, or only the foliage when the leaves are more, before flowering. So all these things must be considered for plant. The time factor must be considered in harvesting the plant. And particularly National Medicinal Plant Board, as I told you, I will give you the last slide, Otashi, that is your Echinacea heterophyllum, Ativisa. It is to be, NMPB recommends it, that's based on the scientific study, that is to be collected in the month of October. Kalmega, after 120 days only, after showing the well during flowering stage, you see, Kalmega to be collected during the flowering stage. Markandica, that is Cassia angustifolia, 80 days of sowing and can be continued up to 5 years. Usually, and in case of Safed Musali, it is to be collected in the month of December to January, and Tuak in the month of April. Particularly, we use the bark here, and according to classical reference, it must be collected in the April. And Kebuka, that is Costa speciosus, we use for the colchicine content, the fruit is being used, the seed is being content, maximum colchicine is there. So here is the reference when to collect the seed and all these things. Then Hritpatri, digitalis is also not Indian origin, but maximum plants are references are there, and it is Varaikanda, diocesan content in tubers has tend to increase 2.5 to 3% in the first year, 30% in the second year. So the older the plant, the more diocesan content. So Varaikanda, we should, when we go for cultivation, that should be harvested after 1 year only. Langali also same. Kotuki, the roots are to be uprooted from the land in the month of September and October. So time period has been given in the, typically the spikes are ready for harvest 2 months after their formation of the plant. There, Ashwagandha in the month of January. So these are the things given in the recommended by NMPP in its website. The medicinal plant shows a marked variation in the active ingredient according to season. This is the last point. So we all in this presentation since last 1 hour, what we saw that season time, that is time factor, has a effect on plant phytoconstituent property. So it must be collected in the proper season. And to conclude, the concept of Kala in Ayurveda truly holds a scientific strand and plays an essential role in deciding quality of the drug. A lot of research is to be carried out, still to be carried out on this time factor, and it is proven that in a particular harvesting drug and students, you must be knowing a plant. That's why in good collection practice, good harvesting practice, good storage practice, in particular, the passport data is essential. You all, the students, you all should be aware what is a passport data. That is a plant when it is collected, just like a human being, we have a passport. It gives us information about who I am, from where I'm been, who is my father's name, with my father's name, my village, my place of present residing, everything. And it is being issued only a police verification. So there for the plant also, good manufacturing practice, good storage practice, record needs passport data. That is when the plant is harvested, if it is naturally collected, from which place it is collected, when the season collected, when the time is it is collected, and particularly if it is a cultivated species, when time was showing, when the what is the condition of the soil, what is the condition of the season, when it is harvested, how it was storage, everything must be maintained. So this shows that plant has a time factor has a great role in influencing the quality of the plant material. With this, I conclude today's lecture, and I thank the organizer again for giving me this opportunity. Now, dear students, you can ask some questions if you have any doubt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening presentation, sir. Your presentation brought a new insight from the current researchers on the time of collection of drugs. So there are few questions, sir. Shall I take them?
Yeah. What is that? How to make them presentation more? Now I have to and stop sharing them.
Sir, there is one question, sir. Explain
Yes.
collection period about Vatashrunga, and also how much old tree should be collected, selected for collection of Vatashrunga.
Vatashrunga. You
Yes,
see,
sir.
Vatashrunga, it is a time specific. Vatashrunga, there is also a confusion regarding Shrunga, that apical bird, leaf apical bird, or the aerial roots. There is Shrunga, but Shrunga is the bird only, leaf birds only, and it comes in a particular season. That is to be collected at that point of time. This is my
Okay.
view.
Okay. So nowadays we all are on
Yes.
pharmaceutical industry. So nowadays we all are dependent on the pharmaceutical industries for the medicines, sir. So
Yeah.
based on these researchers, whether any authorities have made any guidelines for collection of medicinal plants based on researches.
NMBB, it is there in the NMBB. It is there, and NMBB it is there when to collect, when to not to the plant. Every guy. That's why in the last I told that
Yes,
passport data.
yes, sir.
There is a guidelines, strict guidelines that passport data must be maintained. Passport data, that is when the where it is collected, from which who collected this one, particularly place of collection, time of collection, season of collection, everything should be there in the everything is being recorded in the passport data.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
So
thank
just before conclusion, just I would like to convey the vote of thanks, sir. So I'm thankful to our management and board members of Sri Vijay Mahantesh Vidyavardhaka Sangha Ilkal for their constant support in organizing these webinars. And I'm also I'm very much grateful to Dr. R.N. Acharya sir for taking time in his busy schedule and enlightening us on the topic. On behalf of myself and principal and staff of SVM AMC Ilkal. I'm also thankful to our principal, Dr. K.C. Das sir, for his guidance and support. I also thank Dr. Prakash Tariwal, Professor and HOD, Department of Dravya Guna, for cooperating in organizing this webinar. I'm also thankful to our colleagues, Dr. Rashmi Ulli, Dr. G.N. Kannulli, Dr. Manjula, Dr. Vidyashri, for their help in organizing this webinar. I also thank all other faculty members and of different colleges and postgraduates, UG students who all joined us today through Zoom webinar, and to also those who are watching YouTube live. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Madam,
thank you.
excuse me,
Thank
excuse me,
you.
madam. One more question is there, madam, in chat box.
Okay. So shall I take that, sir?
Yeah.
Sir. So you had mentioned that research work showed that Punarnava has highest potency in summer, but it is called Varshabhu and it is widely available in rainy season. So isn't rainy season best for its collections?
Yeah. I have told in the presentation. I think I
Yes,
have
sir. You told, sir.
categorically told in my presentation that it is Varshabhu. It is supposed to be
Yes.
collected in the rainy season, but the study was carried out in the summer. And as I told you, plants used to have more. This is your phytoconstituents, particularly secondary metabolites under stress conditions. It is having already been reported when the plant to protect themselves in the stressful conditions, they release different secondary metabolites. This may be the cause because these people must have carried out without considering the Ayurvedic guidelines. And in particularly, the March sample is reported. That is the reporting thing. But in Ayurveda, in some plants are supposed to be collected in fresh condition. Students, there is a recommendation that Sarangdara gives recommendations use of certain plants in fresh conditions. Out of them, Guruji
Yes,
is
sir.
one. So Punarnaba, when you used in fresh condition, Punarnaba is used as a vegetable also. Not this Borabia diffusa, but another variety of Punarnaba trianthema is used largely as a vegetable in the coastal belt in Odisha, particularly Western Odisha, in Andhra and in the Chhattisgarh area. So there, the plant is used as vegetable, and that plant contains they have to collect it in the rainy season only. But here, and the secondary thing says that this reporting is on leaf only, dear friends. But we use the root for medicinal purpose. Generally, Punaramba root is being used in the collection for that purpose. The study is somewhat different, but I have presented this paper, these references based upon published data and how it differs. And my intention was that, and the seasonal variations also when the plant is in the some dry in because in dry season it is very rarely Punarnavas being seen, and they have started. So if it is collected in the season, there is a difference in phytoconstituents.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks a lot. अठारह सात को
Madam?
12 बजे 18/7 को 12 बजे मीटिंग